So you're at the stage where you may have completed one or even two of these. You did your reversal, and some of you need to get the rest of these placed in there. So I want to show you how you can easily do that. All of you will want to know this series of computer keyboard strokes so that you can actually use this for the future. There's a series of commands that you can choose that will copy all of your visible layers onto one layer so that it makes it easier for us. Instead of copying all of these and doing something called merging, it does it all for you. So that keyboard command is actually a lot of buttons, so stick with me. You hold the control key, don't forget that CTRL, Alt, Shift, and E, but don't press it yet. The one thing I want to remove from there, no, you know what, I'm not going to remove it. In some cases, you may decide you want or you need to remove your background copy if it's not working properly. So definitely keep that in mind. And I actually think I'm going to remove mine, okay? So if I press the keystroke command, Control, Shift, Alt, and then I tap on the E, watch what's happening over here. I get something called Layer 1, and on that single layer, I now have all of the work that I have completed. So that is really, really helpful for this. I'm going to put my background back on. So I could technically turn all, oops, sorry, don't want you to see that yet. I could technically turn all of those other layers off if I need to. Now, if you're going to turn those all of the other layers off, you're going to need to make a copy. But in this case, I'm going to leave it as is so we don't confuse you. But the first thing that we're going to do after making that duplicate of all of our layers merged onto one is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to edit, transform, and I'm going to flip horizontal or vertical. You have to make that decision. I'm going to do the vertical one first so we can reason our way through this. So when I flip vertical on my edit menu, it's only going to flip the stuff that's on that one layer. If I choose another, a lot of people will go into image and image rotation and flip it that way, but that will flip my entire project, not just what's on that layer. So definitely watch out for that. We're going to be in edit, transform, and again, flip vertical. Give it a second to work. You're going to see it looks like a mishmash, but I'm going to take my move tool now, which is the top toolbar. I'm going to put that in place. I'm going to go ahead and click, and I'm going to drag that down, and then I'm going to take a moment to process. In processing, whatever's on this left side is exactly mirror flipped on the right side. Let's say I want to reverse these two. I want this with the white background to be over here, so it's kind of staggered. In that case, I'm then going to do one more transformation, and I'm going to edit, transform, and I'm going to flip on the horizontal now. And what that will give me is that black background and white background now is the white on the left and the black on the right. So I've got this entire piece flipped. Now what you really want to do is you want to get and zoom close to make sure you haven't missed out on aligning anything. If something is not aligned properly, you're going to want to nudge it into place. So I can turn off my guidelines now. Now if you turn off your guidelines, you're going to have to put them back in by typing in your 25%, 50%, 75%, etc. So I can go to View, and I can clear those guides when I know I'm done. I'm going to Control Plus to zoom in, make sure it's meeting up. Now, of course, I mean, this is extreme close. If you're seeing those little pixelated edges, that's extreme closeness. And we definitely are not going to be that close to that final picture. But once this is done, I've now done, again, my vertical flip and my horizontal flip. I'm now ready to do my printing. And I'm going to show you another option after this for those of you who might have just one piece, but just bear with me for a quick second. So I'm going to File. I'm going to Print. We'll give it a second to work because the printer, please be patient with the printer. I know a lot of you have started trying to print things when you're printing pictures. This printer is very, very slow. So I'm asking that you are patient with printing so you don't end up with any problems. First of all, mine is called HP 4600. Yours can be called that. It might be called LaserJet 4600. It may be called Laser 4600. It may be called color. It may be called black. It has so many different names. I apologize for that, out of my control, but just bear with it. You're also going to want to press this button right here that says Scale to Fit Media. That means that it will resize the picture for you to make sure that it doesn't get cut off. Without that, I lost out on a lot of my edges and my piece is no longer square. I'm going to scale it to fit the media. That means it'll downsize it so we can see all of it on one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And then I can go ahead and select print. When it comes out of the printer, you're going to want to make sure that you put your name dash period on the bottom of it so that I can make sure it gets put in the right stack. Again, that stack will be on the table. So pretty much we're all set. Now, that's my conventional person. Someone out there may have this as one part of a design. You may be at the stage where you're like, wow, I want to duplicate that. I want to make a bigger one with more boxes. This next part is for you. Now you have to bear with me though. I'm going to look up my image size. I have an even 10 by 10 document. Okay? If I'm going to add 10 inches over here and 10 inches to the bottom, my document will become a 20 by 20. So I'm basically doubling the height and the width. Not there though. We're going to go to another window. Image, canvas size. And instead of keeping it at 10 by 10, again, I'm going to change it to 20 by 20, but don't press enter, don't press OK. Instead, this right here is a representation of your picture. This means that it will distribute all the space evenly around the outside of your picture in the background color of white. You could change that. We could just say we want to make sure it stays white. This is what it would look like. Give it a second. I'm going to zoom out, Control minus. That is an even distribution, which is not what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what we do want. We're going to go back to image, canvas size. We're going to go back to that 20 by 20. But instead, we're going to say, hey, you picture, I want you to be in the upper left-hand corner, and I want the rest of those inches to be pushed to the side and the bottom. Watch what that change looks like. Just like that, okay? So that's exactly what I want. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to turn off my background layer. I'm going to do that keystroke command, Control, Alt, Shift, and then tap E. And you're going to find that it's going to copy, let me just turn all that off so you can see it. It's going to copy all of my design work onto one. So again, I'm going to put that back on. I think that's what I need. Yep, I'm going to put all that back on. Now if I Control J this, I can Control J. I've got a copy of it. I'm going to move that guy over here. I don't have to flip it because what's black here is white here. That's great. I'm going to go ahead and then Control J again. I can then take and push this, copy, didn't Control J, what happened? Control J, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and push this copy down here. So again, black to white, white to black. And then I'm going to Control J one more time. And what you're going to notice with this one is that it fits in that perfectly. So again, you will see a lot of copies. So there's a lot of Control J. Use your move tool, move it over, Control J, move it over, Control J, move it over. This could be your finished document. Now instead of 4 boxes, you have 16 boxes. So at this stage, we're going to go ahead and File, Print. Now because this is a huge document, you definitely want to make sure to check mark that box that says Scale to Fit Media. Without it, we're going to see a very small portion because it's a 20 by 20 document on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So you definitely want to scale to fit media. You can see how slow it is. It's a big document. You have to be patient with it. Eventually, it will come up. Eventually, let's see. It's trying. It's really trying. So again, at that stage, you would say, okay, go ahead and print it. When it comes out, please be patient. And then go ahead and put your name on it. Now, if this document is too huge and it's taking a long time to save when you're done, you can actually change the size. Actually, it's taking so long, I'm just going to go ahead and print it. You can change the size of it here. So it's not a big document. You can bring it back down in size. so the save doesn't take as long. Now you can see it's really backing things up. Sorry about that. But if you go to image size, full document right here. Remember, document size, not pixel dimension. We're going to bring that down to our former size of 10 by 10. This is not check mark. I want to mark that. So when I change one of them, the other changes automatically. Say, okay, it will look like it gets tiny on your screen. Please don't think you did something wrong. It's just because I'm zoomed out. Look at, I'm only at 8.33% view. Other than that, that is again a more advanced way of taking this. You have the ability to add more boxes. You could continue to build this larger and larger and make these boxes even more delicate as time goes through. So again, tons of options. Just do an amazing job choosing what's right for you. If you're done early, challenge yourself to that next level. If you've got extra time, challenge yourself to that next level. I'm going to go ahead and save this so it's available on YouTube. So stay tuned to the channel. Thanks.